Oregon News starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Oregon News. I'm Anthony Buckles. The Syrian army continues its offensive against rebel forces in the city of Homs. Hundreds have been killed since the assault began on Saturday. Campus public safety officers have ramped up patrols around campus in the area in an effort to deter criminal activity. Nate Genova recalling 1 million packets of birth control pills sold last month. That could increase the risk of pregnancy to some users of the contraceptive. The usually dry start to winter season took a drastic turn in January. The severe rainstorms up and down the Willamette Valley produced one of the most severe winter storms Mount Bachelor has ever seen. The owner of this 2-month-old Burmese python, has felt the intense constricting and striking power that it possesses. So far, Syrian President Bashar Assad has resisted calls for his resignation from the international community. Felt the direct effects of not having his homeowner rights protected. The new bill that Obama plans to pass will protect these rights and ensure no more foreclosures. Hey there, sports fans. Let's get you caught up in the world of sports. The U of O women's basketball team dealt with a major blow in December while leading scorer Amanda Johnson went down with a thumb injury. Speaking of emerging stars, the Ducks football team closed National Signing Day with one of their best recruitment classes to hopefully help make up for the lost production from departing Doak Walker Award winner Michael James. Coaches and fans alike hope this group can help reproduce departing members of the Ducks Rose Bowl team, as the Ducks seek to claim a 4th straight conference title this fall.
The Oregon Ducks football team has been hard at work in their off-season practices. Richard Stutzman, Anthony Buckles, and Nick Cody teamed up to see what it took for the Oregon Ducks to reach such prominence and what it is going to take to stay on top, to win the day.
Soli waits for the snap, got it, gonna hand it off. Blunt's gonna go right, big hole, 20, jumps over man at the 15, got his feet, 10, 5, oh baby, touchdown again, Blunt! Here's your ball again! There's your ball again! ESPN Blunt! ESPN!
The 2008 Holiday Bowl victory was Mike Bellotti's last game as the Ducks head coach. Despite the coaching change, the Ducks have found that their keys to success haven't altered.
Like anything, the best advice I got from Coach Bellotti was to be yourself, that when he took over for Coach Brooks, he didn't exactly do everything the way Coach Brooks did. And then when I took over for him, I didn't do things exactly the way he did. But there's a lot of things that Coach Bellotti did here in the past that we still have in place.
Before coming to Oregon as an offensive coordinator in 2007, Coach Kelly had become familiar with college towns during his coaching career, but none with an atmosphere quite like Eugene.
You walk down the street and everybody's wearing a sweatshirt or a T-shirt or a hat, and you go to the store and everybody's got a sweatshirt or a T-shirt or a hat, and that part, kind of, and I've been in other college towns and it's not like that. I think the passion and the support and how much everybody really genuinely cares about this university was a thing that was, extremely evident to me.
Before joining the Ducks staff, Kelly acknowledged the long-term success of the football program.
I looked at Oregon as a top program, when I was coaching at a different school. I never looked at Oregon and say, hey, one day I think they're going to be pretty good. I thought they were pretty good, and in my first year here, we rose all the way to number 2 in the country. They went to, I think, number 2 in the country in the Fiesta Bowl when Joey Harrington was here, and I remember watching that game on New Year's Day. So, I've always considered, I knew from being a coach that teams go up and teams go down, but, I don't remember the exact number, but they had been to bowl games in 17 out of 18 years. So, again, that's a tough thing to do, and to win consistently at the college level on the field of play is a difficult thing to do, and I always thought Oregon was one of those teams that always did that, so I lumped them in with the USCs and the Alabamas and the Michigans of the world.
And Kelly believes that consistency is paramount in remaining an elite program.
I think the one thing about this place that makes it so successful is the fact that we don't change. Us in the United States Military Academy at West Point are the only 2 schools in the country that haven't had a coaching change in the last 3 years. So when I look around and everybody says things are changing, there's 4 brand new head coaches in our league. Every other program's had 4 or 5 assistant coaches leave, but the same coaches that were here 3 years ago when we played against Boise State in the opener are still here today. I think when a lot of things change, maybe cosmetically things change. If people want to ask me what changes at Oregon, I'll say our uniforms change. But I think how we do things and really the guts of it, the staff that we have here, that part hasn't changed. And I think that's one of the real keys to our success.
And that success has led to 3 consecutive BCS Bowl berths. In 2010, the Ducks offense averaged over 46 points per game, with an average margin of victory of nearly 31 points, resulting in an undefeated season and an appearance in the 2011 National Championship game against Auburn University. But holding true to his philosophy, win the day, Coach Kelly never overlooked any opponent.
You know, in 2010 we went undefeated in the regular season, but until those last seconds ticked off the clock in the last game up in Corvallis, you never really think of, hey, we're going to run the table here.
For the snap. No, it's a fake. Oregon runs it first down up the middle, 40, near midfield, 45, 40, 30, inside of the 30 to the 25, on the 20-yard line, inside of the 15, and finally out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 10.
While Coach Kelly has maintained his staff over the last 3 years, the expectations of his players have changed. Since taking over, his mantra, win the day, has held players to higher standards on and off the field.
We feel like what we've done has been successful, and we've proven that. But the biggest and the toughest challenge for us is can we continue to do that? And that's what I think our players have to understand. We've always said this since I've been here. The football stuff will take care of itself, and you can look at your record and indicate, you know, that we're doing things well from a football standpoint. But there's so much more to winning the day than just winning games on the football field. And it's really about what we're doing in the classroom, what we're doing in the community, and those are the things that validate it for me. You know, I got a nice note from a lifelong Beaver fan that won an award at the Oregon Sports Award, and how Kenyon Barner went out of his way to seek the gentleman out and congratulate him on his award. And the guy was kind of blown away by what a remarkable young man that Kenyon was. And that stuff is what's really important to us. And those are the things that I talk about in our team meetings, and get a chance to read emails from people that met Mark Asper walking down the street. You know, I got a note from a lady once that had a nice Oregon ornament on her house, and then Mark Asper was walking down the street, noticed it, and dropped the note off in her mailbox thanking her for his support. Those are the things that I think validate kind of what we're doing. I think we've just done a better job of emphasizing that it's a process, and that, you know, I think there was too much talk in a lot of programs about let's be Rose Bowl champions, Pac-10 champions, all those other things, but they lose sight of how to get there. And our whole deal is the process, and the process is taking care of what you can control, and what you can control is what goes on today, not where are we going to be next January, but what goes on today, and do I have the opportunity to be successful today in everything I do, both on the field, in the classroom, in the community, and that all goes hand in hand. And you just can't have a successful day from a football standpoint, but a non-successful day academically or socially, because it all factors into did you win the day or lose the day.
Now, Anthony, what made you guys choose this particular angle on the Oregon Ducks football team?
Well, it's no surprise that the Oregon program has risen itself to an elite level amongst other college football teams, and our style of play is very unique to anyone else across the country. And so we just kind of want to take a look inside of that and see what do they do on a day-to-day basis to keep that level. In NFL news, Commissioner Roger Goodell said yesterday that the NFL would consider going to 34 teams, with both expansion teams going to Los Angeles. Thanks for the update, William. Let's take a look at what kind of weather we can expect over the Super Bowl weekend. How's it looking out there, Rachel? With the housing market still in shambles and home foreclosures abundant across America, homeowners everywhere are concerned about the safety of their homestead. A new bill proposed by President Obama is being sent to Congress, which should help calm the nerves of these homeowners. When the housing market crashed in 2008, homeowners across America were dealt a heavy blow, with many facing possible foreclosure. However, many homeowners are crying foul on what appears to be big bank corruption. The argument for violated homeowners' rights has taken Capitol Hill by storm.
I didn't lose the home because of finances or not paying my bills. I lost it because I was lied to. I'd made my payments. I had perfect credit. I did everything right since I graduated from college. And I said, this is how I get treated. It is upsetting. I get in my car and drive by and I see the foreclosure sign on the for sale.
Ken Buckles, a homeowner who got his home foreclosed in early August, felt the direct effects of not having his homeowner rights protected. The new bill that Obama plans to pass will protect these rights and ensure no more foreclosures.
I'm sending this Congress a plan that gives every responsible homeowner the chance to save about $3,000 a year on their mortgage by refinancing at historically low rates. No more red tape, no more runaround from the banks.
With both Democrats and Republicans in favor of the bill, it appears it will be passed with ease, leaving foreclosure victims with the sense that justice has been served.
There's tons of people that got hurt and lost money. This didn't have to happen. It was all avoidable, but it was all corporate greed that made it happen.
Reporting for Oregon News, I'm Anthony Buckles. The Homeowners Bill of Rights is set to be presented to Congress during the coming months. The excavating of Parvin Butte appears to be coming to a halt yet again. Matt Laird, director of the county's Land Management Division, is asking for a review of Lane County hearings official Gary Darnell's initial decision to allow excavation of Parvin Butte. The argument being that Darnell's decision, which was made on the basis of ambiguity of site review laws, did not take Dexter citizens' opinions into account before excavating began and did not conduct a proper site review. However, Lost Creek Rock Products, owned by the McDougal brothers, claims that no site review was required in order to begin excavating. Lane County submitted its petition of the excavation Monday afternoon, but no final decision has been made. Lost Creek Rock Products had nearly $8,000 in fines lifted recently due to legal discrepancies, but these fines will be reinstated and the excavation of Parvin Butte could come to a halt if the petition proves successful.
Adderall, prescribed to treat those with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, has spiked in popularity amongst college students across America, particularly with students who lack a legal prescription.
I usually take Adderall to study, as a study aid to keep me focused and to keep me interested in the work I'm doing.
And a survey conducted by the Journal of Addiction found that 25% of students at 119 American college campuses have used Adderall as a study aid, but 44% of these users lack a prescription. The federal government's National Study on Drug Use and Health found that college students aged 18 to 22 were twice as likely to abuse Adderall than non-students within the same age group.
Usually while I'm on Adderall and I'm feeling the effects, I feel slightly euphoric. Definitely intensified focus and increased interest in whatever activity I'm doing, even if it's mundane or monotonous.
Although most commonly used as a study aid, the abuse rate of Adderall has spiked due to the feeling of euphoria it implores. What most individuals don't know is that some unforeseen risks of taking Adderall are stroke, heart attack, hypertension, seizures, and liver failure. But for some, the risk is more than worth the reward. With the debate over whether or not Adderall should be legalized still undecided, only time will tell what the fate of this miracle study aid will be. Reporting for Oregon News, I'm Anthony Buckles.
That's it for now. I'm Anthony Buckles. Thanks for tuning in.